Hey everybody, wanted to do a short introduction to this special episode of Source Material. We are calling this Snap Material. Edmund Bevins and I had such a great time talking about this latest Marvel mobile game that we decided to record our thoughts on last season's Into the Quantum Realm and the upcoming season, Days of Future Past. Our first part is going to be about the new battle mode and the cards released during Into the Quantum Realm. Let's get to the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode of the Source Material Comics podcast. Never came up with a title for this show.
Snap Material.
Snap Material. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It's me. I'm Jesse Starcher. That's Evan Bevins sitting right over there. We're coming together to talk about the mobile game Marvel Snap. We had a show, it was a few months back, where we tagged on a little bit of a Marvel Snap discussion to some coverage for the Superblog Team Up, where we were talking some Stan Lee stories. And I really wanted to keep talking about Marvel Snap because it is something that I have found myself playing a lot here lately. Evan, I told you, I kind of gave you an idea of what the format's going to be tonight. We're going to talk about the last season, and we're getting ready to go in. We're actually already in a new season right now as we record this. Last season was Into the Quantum Realm.
We're tying in with the movie that's in theaters right now, The Jesus Revolution.
Is that what it is?
Oh, wait, my bad. Scream 6.
Scream 6. Yes. Ghostface, crazy card to get right now, pretty unattainable in Marvel Snap.
The Jenna Ortega card is pretty popular too. She is everywhere.
The Wednesday variant is out there. So
that is what I think of with that one particular death variant.
You're right. Yeah, it is pretty. It's pretty comparable. Into the Quantum Realm. So yeah, just like you said, we're tying in with Ant-Man Quantum Mania. So we get some cards that were released this season and some locales that were centric to the Quantum Realm, not just in, the movie universe. We're talking about in the comic book universe as well. So I figure what we'll do tonight, we'll just kind of talk about our experience with the last season and the cards, see if we ran into any of the cards that were released during this series. Now, Evan, I don't pay for these games. Or I should say, I don't pay for this game. I haven't paid for a full season, although I think it's very worth it. Only $10 to unlock, a good bit of stuff during those ranks as you move up, and some of the cards that are getting released during the season. So I don't know. Did you spring for the $10 this go round?
No, I haven't done that. I can't say I haven't spent anything on it, but as cool as some of the featured cards are, I'm having fun with what I usually get, and if you're patient enough, I've got Black Panther pinned in the shop right now. I'm making my way there, but that's the fun thing. I wouldn't be opposed to spinning. Like I said, I have once or twice, but it's a game that you don't have to spend a lot on to enjoy, especially not to get out of order, but with them adding the friendly battle feature.
Right.
Which is what got my brother and I into it in the first place. Was like, hey, this is something we both like and we could play together.
Well, let's start there, because I remember when we first started playing the game, when I started playing the game, and then you and I were talking about it together. To me, I was like, I don't know if friendly battles are going to be the way to go with this thing. How are they going? Because I thought initially it was just going to be like a regular game between you and a friend that's on there. I didn't think it would be fun, but they added some elements to it, which made it different.
Well, the main thing is that it's a series instead of just a one-off battle. And so you've got, how many is it? Is it 8 or 10?
I want to say it's 8. Maybe it's 10. I can't remember.
Points, for lack of a better term. Since these battles aren't ranked, you're not, snapping to gain rankings or whatever. Each of those, if you lose the amount you snap for. So if you complete a game and nobody snaps, you lose 2 of them. If if one person snaps and you complete the game, you lose. The person who loses 4. And if you both snap and you lose, you can lose up to 8. Pretty cool. I think, what is it, by battle 4 you have to start risking 2. So that makes it interesting. The only downside that I've seen to it at all, I wish you could swap decks in between each game.
Right, I agree.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, because then, I know you and I were playing once. you just hit retreat and sacrificed 1 point rather than let me drop Deadpool out there.
Gosh.
And of course, when I finally got Deadpool, that deck was in response to just like the second or third game you and I played, where you had a destroy deck and slaughtered me brutally. And so I made a deck that pretty much ripped yours off and then switched like one card and was like, hey, I've got my own deck now.
The other thing that kind of, I would say that is kind of a drawback as well is if you start out with a certain type of deck and there are some decks that have no answer for the deck that you're going up against. I know for a fact if I don't have Cosmo in there and you are relying on some heavy hitting like on reveal stuff, I might be toast right out the gate. And sticking through 3 battles, of course you have the option to retreat and get the heck out of there if you know that's the way it's going to go. But normally you don't want to, I'm not going to do that if I'm playing up against somebody. I want to go through, just try my best. But sometimes you are completely outmatched right out the gate, and unfortunately there's, just like you said, to kind of answer that, switching decks mid-game in between rounds, I guess you would say would be nice.
Yeah, and I know my brother and I, the first couple times we played, we both got kind of tired, even if one of us was using it, of the Wong White Tiger Odin combo.
Oh,
just very effective, but once you get beat by that like 3 times in a row, you're a little tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if it's other people getting tired of it or what. I don't get slapped with that as much as I used to. Then I started using it a lot too, so it's not.
I was going to say there is a strong conversation to be had about the algorithm this game has when it comes to matchmaking, and I don't know if you hop onto Reddit very much or not, but there is a subreddit for Marvel Snap, and I get notifications of some of the more popular threads that are happening in there, and the matchmaking has come up quite a bit. And here lately, I think that there was somebody that posted I think it was a tweet. It's either a tweet or maybe it was an interview. I don't know. But they are actually doing some modifications for the matchmaking. Right now, we're, like 2 weeks into our newest season. Do you feel that there's been any change in regards to matchmaking?
I honestly don't think I'm an astute enough observer on that. With a lot of like the meta stuff, I just tend to see the smaller picture, I guess, with the games. So I know that this last season I kind of stalled out in the mid 40s, and I couldn't really tell you if that was because of any overall trend or just not hitting pay dirt enough or what. But
I got dropped down to, I think it was 30s. When the new season starts, they drop you back down. I thought it was 1 rank, but I was in the 3. 60s. Now it's 3. Yeah. So I got dropped down to 30, and I was facing plenty of people that hit infinite last season, and the only reason I know that is because their card back. If their card back had that infinite hourglass, pretty certain you could only get that if you hit 90 or above 99.
Gotcha.
So
I've never made it that high.
Me either. So I'm facing all these people that have hit infinite level last season, and I'm like, okay, I'm potentially outmatched here, although I think I've held my own. But however, I mean, I really haven't made a whole lot of headway so far this season. I think I'm at 33, and I've played quite a bit, so I'm losing and winning, and I could say that I'm not really gambling and snapping a whole lot. Usually, if somebody snaps against me, okay, good for them, but I'm not. I don't use the snap to my advantage as much as I should. So that might be another reason as to why I'm not moving up too.
Same here. I'll be like, oh, I should have snapped there, and so then the next game I'll be like, aha, I snapped.
Yeah,
it was a premature snap.
As if people couldn't tell. Just to let any listeners out there like, what in the world are they talking about snapping? Snapping is a core mechanic in the game where you're basically wagering cubes, and the cubes factor into your rank. The higher rank you get, the possibility of more unlocks. So there's an unlock at every 10 levels, and you've got to get so many cubes before you get to a level. Well, you wager these cubes every time you play, and snapping doubles those cubes to where at the end of the game, you could potentially, if both people snap, there's a potential for 8 cubes to be won and lost. So anyway,
and ranks 10 cubes. So yeah, those can swing pretty quick.
Right. Yeah, it can. I think the best part about it is actually playing with somebody that I can like talk trash to. As we are messaging back and forth, and I
have received some trash in Messenger during games. Can confirm.
So,
and I'm definitely glad that you can only do that with people you know. Every once in a while, I wish there was some other comment or graphic I could send, and then I remember other interactions with strangers on the internet, and I'm like, no, this is good.
they do.
We'll both do pointing Spider-Man when we each reveal the same card. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Into the Quantum Realm, we had a total of 4 cards that released. And you tell me, I'm going to run down the cards here real quick. MODOK, 5 energy, 8 power. On reveal, discard your hand. MODOK absolutely made me rely on Cosmo a lot during this season. How about you? What's your experience with MODOK?
Well, I'm just glad that they found a way in this game to reflect the classic comic stories that we've all grown up with, where MODOK and Morbius are such an unbeatable team. I actually Googled MODOK, Morbius, and Marvel, and all I got was references to Snap.
Yeah, not happening.
But,
not a team up.
Yeah, and I figure there's got to be some place where MODOK and Apocalypse met up, because they seem like that they would get along.
Oh yeah, right.
But that search also revealed more Snap decks. I would see MODOK popping up. I could usually hold my own with him. I don't mind discard decks. I actually went on a pretty good run at the start of this season with my own discard deck, but I never did get MODOK.
You could have. I mean, at the point where I was, all you had to do was filter out the word discard and just throw every single one of them in your deck, pretty much. If you had Hela, which I think I did buy from the shop, just so I could try to make discard work for me.
Yeah.
If you had Hela, I mean, she helped a ton as well.
Except I always seem to get her with Sif, another natural ally to Apocalypse. And I always seem to get Sif, Apocalypse, and Hela at the same time, and it feels like I always discard Hela all at once. So every once in a while, I can yoink her back with Ghost Rider. Now, I don't know. Have you been naming your decks?
Some. I have. Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that. My brother told me that, and I spent more time. This will give the listeners an idea of my expertise. I probably spent more time for a while there naming decks than constructing decks. So my discard deck, I shortened discard to disco, and then I called it Dazzler.
Nice. I
don't have Dazzler yet.
Bummer.
Because I also couldn't figure out if my opponents could see the names of my decks. So I didn't just want to call it the discard deck.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
I'm pretty certain they can't.
I don't think so. But just in case, like my work in progress deck with Red Skull, Typhoid Mary, Doc Ock, and other problematic villains, it's got a black card back, and it's codenamed 8-Ball.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. A lot of good strategy here. I didn't have a lot of problems with MODOK, and I think I did have a couple times where somebody played him with Wong on Camartage, where your on reveal effects happen twice, and he discarded Apocalypse twice, which just seemed excessive. But MODOK, I got used to seeing. I mean, I can definitely see where he would be effective, but not one that I was like, oh, I gotta try to track that one down.
I think he was the one that if you bought the season,
he was the premium card.
Right, he was the card you got.
Yeah, he'll be out there available in a little bit, but he's not one that I'm hankering to track down.
Same here.
So, I'm glad that we exist in a world where MODOK is spreading across all manner of media, because it's absurd enough that he needs to be out there, but not one that's a sentimental favorite for me, or one that I'm clamoring to get. Now there are a couple of cards. I think MODOK and one other are the highest profile, but there's a couple that released this season that I definitely want.
I did have a chance to play with Ghost just for a couple games, and one of my favorite decks this past season got Quinjet recently. Yeah. So I was like, oh, here we go. I want to make a collector deck, and using Nick Fury and also using Coulson, I was able to get Ghost at one point. So
nice. You got a Devil Dinosaur in that deck?
There needs to be one in there. I don't know if I got Ghost from that though. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I got it from a hub, because it's 1 energy, 2 power. I don't think Coulson's bringing it. Coulson's bringing in 3 and 4s. And
Maria Hill.
I do not have Maria Hill, so
okay.
I'm guessing then it had to have been the hub, where one of the locations was the hub where it gives you a random card.
Could be Sharon Carter.
Yes.
Agent
yes.
13, sorry.
Agent 13. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, Agent 13 is just totally random. Could be anything.
I did end up with a Shayna the She-Devil.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow. That one I'm pretty sure is a 3 or a 4, and I probably got that from Coulson at one point. But Ghost may have popped up because I played her, possibly. But either way, I did have a chance to play with Ghost. I mean, your card. So the effect is ongoing. Your cards are always revealed last, which. Yeah, that can create an advantage for some, for sure. Anybody who's got a Shang-Chi in their deck that you're facing, you want to go last, especially if you got some heavy hitters in there. So
yeah, and I know Rogue and Enchantress that knock out ongoing effects.
Yep.
I try not to play them, even if I don't have anything else to play, unless there's actually something for them to play on. Because man, I've had here's Rogue, no target. Oh, and now here's Patriot boosting up everybody.
Here's Wong.
Marvel, yep.
Yep. Did you have a chance to play against Ghost at all?
I did not play against Ghost too much. I pulled her once, and I liked it. But yeah, that's the one out of this season that I want the most, because there's just so many times that I've had cards where it's like, oh, if only I could have gone second. Right. And I mean, you take turns revealing your cards, but it always seems like I go first when I don't need to. So I mean, Gambit is good. It's good to have Gambit after somebody reveals. Have him chuck a card at somebody. One of my favorite effects in the game, by the way. Yeah, Gambit literally throwing one of the cards.
That is great. So next up is Stature, 5 energy for 7 power. She only costs 1, though, if your opponent discarded a card from their hand. Clearly an answer, a response to people unlocking the season, getting MODOK, and building discard decks. You want Stature to go up against that. I think I ended up with her by accident at one point. I'm sure, this isn't a card that I have, but I can't remember if I laid her out for 1. Actually, I think I did. I think I got her one time in my hand and laid her out for 1. It was nice to have. I don't remember if I won or not, but that was Stature. Yeah. I didn't go up against too many people that had her.
I had her pop up on mine once, and I want to say it was like a Weird World or a District X location.
Oh, District X.
I was playing somebody with a discard deck, and I'm like, okay, getting ready to lay down Stature. 1 cost for 7 points, or 7 power. And they never did it because they weren't getting their discard cards.
Oh, no, man.
Here we go, Cassie.
Well, yeah. So Kang, 5 energy, 0 power. But on reveal, you look at what your opponent did, then you restart the turn. So
and Jonathan Majors devours the scenery. Oh, no, wait. Okay. Jonathan Majors is awesome as Kang.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I did watch somebody on the Marvel Snap Reddit. They posted something where it says Kang is causing problems or something along those lines. And what had happened is, I can't remember exactly how this worked. Somebody played a Morph, and the guy had a Kang in his hand, and the Morph turned into Kang. Yeah, so Morph turns into Kang, and then I think he tries to lay the Kang down. It restarts the turn, and there's like this weird circle going on. I don't know. I can't remember the details of it, but anyway.
This is why you don't mess around with time travel.
That's right. I never ran into Kang at all.
I had him played on me one time.
Ooh.
And
what was that like?
It looked pretty cool. I think I ended up playing almost exactly the same thing, because I'm like, oh, it's not going to get any better. Let's see what they can do to stop it. I wish I could remember the specifics, but I mean, yeah, the effects are very cool, and it just kind of rewound the turn. And I think I ended up playing pretty much the same way and winning that game. I'm going to take better notes for the next episode, but yeah. It was pretty cool to see, but I don't think it beat me on that one.
Yeah, I was wondering if like you were stuck to what you had originally played, but obviously it doesn't sound like that's what the effect does. It sounds like the cards go back in your hand, right?
Yeah, and then you lose Kang, but I mean it basically gives you a mulligan on the turn, and you've got a little bit of an advantage because you know what your opponent has. All they know is you had Kang and you don't have Kang now.
Right.
I mean, I guess unless you played Moon Girl and duplicated him, and then who knows who knows what happens then. But yeah, so it gives you an idea, and then it's not unbeatable, because you got to decide, okay, are they going to come back and do the same thing, or are they going to throw something different at me? So there's still a risk. You just know a little bit more than you did before. And I mean, with a guy who's a manipulator of time, it's just a really cool way to get that power into the game.
No kidding. I mean, I wondered how in the world they were going to make it work.
Do you like time travel stuff, Jesse? I didn't know.
Yeah, just to kind of let you know, I do enjoy it just a little bit. I wondered how they would actually make this work, and they seem to have pulled it off. So that's actually really cool.
He was up in the shop. I had a shot at him for 6,000 tokens, but I just usually I buy stuff for 1,000. The few that I've gotten impatient on, I've lucked into pulling in collectors' caches. Usually I wait for 1,000, but there's several 3,000s that I'm saving up for now.
Are you now?
But 6,000, I just don't have the patience. I probably should.
It's way out of my reach, and only getting 100 tokens like every third or fourth collector's cache.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
my gosh.
But now they've added, I think the last 2 weeks, I hope it's a regular thing, Token Tuesday. You seen that?
No. What's it do? I've heard of it, but I don't remember.
It's like 850 gold or something like that, and you get maybe 800 tokens or something like that. I mean, you get a good, I don't think you get 1,000, but you get a nice chunk of tokens.
Well, I did see the Token Tuesday stuff, but I just never jumped in and looked at it.
I mean, what you're giving up is stuff like that Devil Dinosaur pack and the Deadpool Day pack. Those are two that I've gotten. Mm-hmm. And I thought about grabbing the Valentine's Day one with Daredevil and Elektra just because I didn't have Daredevil yet, but I did get him as a prize. Which, I mean, that's the other thing, is even with the stuff you're not spending, I mean, you've got a chance to get the cards, and so far I haven't seen anyway like one card that's just make or break. I've seen some that are really cool, but I think they've done a pretty good job of balancing it. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want, but I at least haven't felt like I have to get this card or that card.
Right.
I mean, Black Panther, honestly, I was saving up for Silver Surfer, and then I got smacked with a Shuri Red Skull combo. So
you're
30
like, I've
points.
got to have that.
And so I was like, you know what? I should have gotten Shuri when I had the chance. So I'm going to save up. I'm going to let Silver Surfer go. Going to save up for Shuri. And then Black Panther came in. And I think Shuri's probably the better card, the more useful card. But you know how I feel about the Christopher Priest run of Black Panther. I liked Black Panther before it was cool. And that's a good card. So Black Panther is who I've got pinned right now.
Well, that's all right. That's a good one. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.